In the fall, birds fly south for the winter, but here in the United States, tourists flock to the Northeast in search of vibrant foliage. Join us as Artifications explores the art scenes on the coast of Maine, from Portsmouth, New Hampshire to Portland. Welcome to the Northeast in the fall. The air is alive with salt, burning wood, and apple cider. This chill in the air reminds us that winter will soon be upon us. While art waits for no man, it's easier to see when not hidden under the area's legendary snow. From Portsmouth, New Hampshire to Portland, Maine, we'll explore vibrant and accessible art scenes along the way. For thousands of years, many Native American tribes shared this region, and there's a little bit of evidence to suggest that they stayed here year-round, bucking that long-standing notion that all Native American tribes were somehow nomadic. At the time of the first settlers, tribes of Algonquin-speaking Native Americans were collectively known as the Abenaki. You can hear remnants of these ancient languages in the street signs and towns the farther north we go. Our first stop is Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Portsmouth is a great city to start this journey because it already has a built-in bubbling art scene. Portsmouth, with its wide variety of eateries and cultural institutions, also has a self-professed love of history. You'll see it when you walk down the street and can admire its wonderful architecture, or touchingly, when you come upon public art displays such as the Black Heritage Trail. Founded in 1995, features a number of bronze plaques and adjoining sculptures that tie in and commemorate the African American experience from slavery through the civil rights era. The legacy of this complex history are visible throughout the city. These markers are basically acknowledging Portsmouth's difficult relationship with the institution of slavery and the slaves' long fight to force the city to live up to the U.S.'s ideals. Contemporary Portsmouth embraces the nostalgia and the aesthetics of its colonial past. The port did play a significant economic role until improvements in shipping efficiency began to bypass the city for larger ports. This had the effect of almost freezing the city in time, preserving aspects of its architectural history. One of these buildings that has stood the test of time is the Portsmouth Athenaeum. An Athenaeum is a classification of a private group formed to protect and promote the arts and sciences. The Portsmouth Athenaeum is an independent library, gallery, and museum whose main building was acquired in 1823. While the main building celebrates the maritime history of Portsmouth, we're going to visit next door, where the third floor gallery is hosting a pretty special exhibition. Painting Portsmouth Notables, 1750 through 1850. The majority of pieces in this exhibition are portraits created by Joseph Greenleaf Cole between 1829 and 1830. Cole came to Portsmouth and painted over 60 portraits during his stay. This was at a time when New Hampshire was just recognized as a separate royal colony, making Portsmouth its principal town, a destination where artists can make some money. Although Portsmouth lies on the banks of a river, it's a little difficult to find. In our search for views of the Piscataqua River, we came to find a nice cluster of galleries located around Ceres Street. We stopped in at one such gallery to find out a little bit about the Portsmouth scene.
My name is David Campbell. We're in the Todd Bonita Gallery on the waterfront of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So we represent about 20 artists, all doing representational work. So it's a combination of oil, gouache, water, charcoal. Portsmouth is founded in 1631, noted for its food, art, music, education, technology. I found the Portsmouth in 1975, and it's very magnetic in its charm. We have no reason to go anywhere else, and we understand there's other nice places, but we're quite content right here. This building we're in was built in 1805, ostensibly as warehouses for a shipping industry. Art scene here has been a long-standing. Feels good, it looks good, it makes me happy.
Just around the corner from Sarah Street, we came upon Valerie's Gallery. It's here we sat with the gallery managers for just a couple minutes to find out what makes Portsmouth so special.
So my name is Valerie Stainton, and I own a shop called Valerie's Gallery in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So I opened the first store in 2002 in Newburyport, Mass. So 16 years this year. I'm in New Hampshire raised, and I always thought that this would be a great place to also have a location. It's similar to Newburyport in that it's a kind of community that would appreciate art and would be supportive of our business. So we opened this location, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 3 years ago.
Valerie's Gallery is well lit with really interesting combination of fine art and fine craftsmanship. This idea of combining crafts and fine art would be the new norm that we would see throughout our journeys north.
My name is Maren Forsyth, and I'm the gallery manager in this location. The scene is pretty good. We get most of our customers in the summer. There's a big tourist crowd that comes in, from May to September, and it's really interesting, I think, for them to see, what Portsmouth's about, what are the themes that are reoccurring here, and then we get, some of the locals as well, but it's pretty bustling all year round.
Could I ask what your first and last name is? Portsmouth is easy to appreciate. Its charms run deep, and they're ever so eloquently captured in fabric, as we discovered here on our downtown sojourn.
My name's Nancy Morgan, and the name of my gallery is Nancy Morgan Art. Fabric for me, it's always been about the fabric. I've sewn, I started making Barbie doll clothes in 1960. It was about 20 years that I learned how you could set your sewing machine up to draw with it. And that's what started. I had no idea. I thought you were always confined to just going forward and backwards, and you're not. You can set any sewing machine up so that it's called free motion sewing, and you can just move the fabric any direction you want to go in. The art scenes, it has exploded in Portsmouth. I think we have like 18 galleries in Portsmouth right now. It used to be basically just art associations. But it has just grown. Every year it grows more and more. Every time I go out, I find things I haven't seen before. I've lived here over 60 years, and I still find little nooks and crannies and places that just inspire work.
Heading north along Route 1, our destination is Ogunquit, Maine, whose name in the local native language translates to beautiful place by the sea. Originally settled in 1641, the area was known for its shipbuilding along the tidal Ogunquit River. Artists would later come to appreciate the idyllic setting and set up their easels to paint en plein air along the miles of its sandy beaches. Today, Ogunquit is a kitschy little town with a tourist season that extends from July through September. So if you're expecting to find some galleries here during the winter time, it's all in the art of appreciating vacation land. Heading further north along Route 1, we come upon the Corey Daniels Gallery in Wells, Maine. The gallery is open to most forms of art, including large-scale installations and sculptures, paintings, and the occasional live performance. Further north, we come upon the towns of Kennebunk and Kennebunkport. These two towns grew up on either side of the Kennebunk River and are connected by a busy little bridge. The larger town of Kennebunk was founded in 1621 and was known for its shipbuilding and fishing. Today, the area is known as a tourist destination, with busy side streets and vibrant restaurants. Kennebunkport, with its relatively small population, is one of the wealthiest towns in all of the United States. Most of the fine art spaces here curate solely Maine artists. And why not? There is such a dynamic group of artistic diversity in this region. Of course, it only makes sense. Strolling along the streets, we came upon the most inviting home-based gallery and took a moment to explore what was going on inside.
I'm Evelyn Payne, and this is the W. Robert Payne Gallery. The artwork is of my husband's, and we've had the gallery here since 1981, and he's been very successful, very, very well liked by all of his people, and we feel very blessed to live here. It's the most wonderful town ever to live in. It's a wonderful town for artists. There are many, many artists here, and most of them here have been here for a long time. There's a lot of great galleries. It's just people who love art love coming here. It's like I've said, it's a wonderful place to live.
We plan to stop at the Kennebunkport-based Maine Art Hill. This gallery has been part of the Kennebunk scene since 1991, when the owner John Spain moved from New York City in order to open up a gallery in this beautiful area. Almost 30 years later, Maine Art Hill is a hive of activity with numerous incubators, programs, and exhibition spaces. We spoke with Nate Rudder about what this gallery means to the Kennebunk community.
So my name is Nate, and I work at Maine Art Hill in Kennebunk, Maine. This is our main gallery. This is a collection of galleries that Maine Art Hill is. We're 9 galleries now, including a gallery in the lobby of the Grand Hotel next door. The studios galleries, one of them is a 3-dimensional gallery. We call it The Works. One of them is the pop-up gallery, which has a weekly changing artist. One is a frame shop and print gallery, and the other 2 are artist-run galleries and rented space from us. So there's always something new to see up there, something fun and interesting. So John Spain, he's been here for over 20 years, and he wanted to make this gallery an art destination. This year we got an award for Business of the Year that was awarded to a business that did the most for expanding Kennebunk and bringing tourism to Kennebunk. The summertime brings a lot of people, and we wanted to stand out in that we have shows every week. We have openings with all of our artists, or if your art is Maine related, we'd be happy to see it. You can visit our website, maine-art.com. It's really easy to submit your art. We're happy to take a look.
Back on Route 1 North, we come upon the town of Biddeford. Now, Biddeford has a cluster of galleries on Main Street that we happened upon that were all having independent events. This provides us a unique look into a community in the midst of change, with art as its growing centerpiece. I would like to welcome you to our first stop, the Gallery of Flourish.
I'm John Bryson. This is Flourish, Arts is Sacred Healing, in downtown Biddeford, Maine. Well, I really like the downtown feel that's here. It's a very long main street. It's not just one thing, but it encompasses a community. Our art here is all kinds of arts. So this gives me a place to work with all kinds of arts, whether it's healing arts, intuitive arts, and it incorporates for me an entire umbrella for all the things I've done throughout my life.
Biddeford is much larger than any of the other Maine towns we've explored before. With its plentiful storefronts and being only just half an hour approximately away from Portland, Maine, it's an ideal place for the arts to settle down and create a wonderful, flourishing community. Nearly 1/3 of the population of Maine lives in Portland. It has a rich history as a commercial fishing and trading port that dates back to the 1600s. Walking the streets of Portland, it's easy to appreciate the warmth of these gathering halls and eateries, especially when dodging the elements. In this case, the pelting rain drove people from awning to awning. we found sanctuary in the second floor skate shop that had a penchant for showing colorful local art.
My name is Maxwell Press. You're in Motion Skate Shop, Portland, Maine, 10 Exchange Street. It's an old blue-collar area, a lot of fishermen, a lot of restaurants, a lot of tourists, but mostly it just means a lot of people hanging around, walking around every day. Some of these guys and girls didn't even have a place to show their art in the first place. Some of them are students, some of them are just skateboarders that do art on the side. So when I said I'm opening up a skate shop, but I also want to turn it into a gallery, that piqued a whole new interest of, wow, I have things that people have never seen, or I have things that are just in my room, but I'm a working artist and that's what I do. Right now I have probably 7 or 8 different local artists that are somehow or another in a way involved with skating or surfing or kind of that passion. Since I've moved here, I've seen a different type of people come into the city. So even in 4 years, it's been a change in the type of people that are maybe more appreciative of art and maybe a bit more cultured and a bit more traveled. I think that this is the only way to showcase, people's true creativity, is to have a gallery. And these people that are coming from around the world, maybe they'll stop up here, find their way up here. And you can hit us up on Instagram, Motion Skate, motion like ocean with an M. And you can just find us in the street skateboarding. That's it.
Founded in 1882 by the Portland Society of Art, the Maine College of Art, affectionately known as Mecca, contributed greatly to the artistic legacy of Portland. Housed in the former Portland Public Library, there are multiple galleries with shifting exhibitions going on year-round. The Union of Maine Visual Artists is a non-profit collection of artists. Operating out of the back is a live video production facility covering a wide range of topics. As soon as we walked inside, we were surrounded by chairs, so I had to find out what was going on exactly. We sat and spoke with the curator of this interesting exhibition and talked about the UMVA and its role in its community.
So I am Janice L. Moore. We are in Portland, Maine at 516 Congress Street, and this is the UMVA gallery site for the Portland chapter. And the cool thing about us is that we meet once a month together in this space, and we're allowed to, as just members, come up with a proposal for a show. I was inventorying my artwork a couple of years ago, and I realized, geez, I've done a lot of chairs. I had a few chair paintings going, and wow, I have a lot of chair paintings. I didn't realize I did that. And then as soon as I sort of became conscious of that, I started looking at, so do all these other great artists who I love. Seems like everybody does chairs. And I know for myself as a painter, I'm much more comfortable painting a chair than a person. I invited artists, and I did a statewide call for art. And what that allowed me to do is just to make more people aware of this space. This is authentic to me, meeting with other people who create, who make things. And Portland right now has a ton of people who create things. umvaonline.org.
Yeah, well, this is Mainly Frames and Gallery in Portland, and my name is Leo Pelletier, and been here about 23 years. No, matter of fact, I was here about 2 years before Mecca come in here. There's about 450 students that signs up every year, but they have no money. This is a frame shop, so costs serious money to go to that school. So most of them, I don't get much money out of the school. I was teaching framing back about 20 some odd years ago, and then I got into maps, and because I used to be across the street there for about 15 years, and I moved here 8 years ago. But I've been doing this about 23 years.
I encourage you to take a special trip downstairs and check out the large, expansive catacombs of art. Through the unrelenting rain, we came upon a gallery with immense windows. Inside were oil paints large enough to be appreciated by passing traffic. What resulted was a great short interview with one of the larger gallery spaces in all of Portland.
And this is a Ruin Sear International Fine Art Gallery. We've been here 4.5 years, and we're doing well. I just signed my contract, so we're going to be our lease contract, so we'll be staying open longer. So that's a really great thing. Now I live in Poland Spring. I have a 45-minute commute every day. Everybody who comes in just loves the gallery, so it's just been really uplifting for me. I have art here from 10 different countries. I also have a lot of local art. We're Portland's largest gallery. I've been told I'm possibly Maine's largest gallery. I didn't set out to try to do that. I just fell in love with this space. And I am an artist myself, and I was pretty active as an artist before I opened the gallery. I was one of those artists that like to reach out to other artists. And when I traveled, I used the internet to find artists in the countries I was going to. And I would contact them and ask them if I could visit them. I wanted to meet with them and learn what it was like to be an artist in their country and see their studios. And so a lot of them I got to paint with as well. And it was just a wonderful way to travel. And so when I decided to open the gallery, I started thinking, who would I like to have in the gallery? And it was all the international artists that I knew that were popping in my head because they were really great and I really liked them. So I started international. I contacted them and they knew me and they were comfortable with me. And I asked them if they would, I was planning on opening a gallery in Portland and would they like to be a part of it? And of course they all said yes. And so it started internationally. And artists that are not exhibited in the States at all, I was the only gallery there. And, all my international artists, you can find them here or you have to go to their country to find them.
One could not have picked a better time of year to be surrounded by so many warm-hearted individuals. Each of these communities supports and rallies around their artists in a way that creates an atmosphere ripe for creativity. The area's long winters do create the introspection necessary for the artistic development process to occur, but these long winters also create warm, vibrant hearts, which we hope that you find for yourselves when you make time to visit this area on your own. Thank you so much for watching Artifications. You can follow us on all of our social media, and if you have any questions, you can email me directly below. Our goal here is simple: to make the art world just a little smaller, because you can't spell Earth without art. Take care.